My precious one, I need you to understand something that will change everything. Right now, in this exact moment, you are not here by chance. Your presence here, reading these words, feeling what you feel, carrying what you carry, this is no accident. I have orchestrated every thread of your journey to bring you to this precise intersection. And what I am about to reveal to you will either awaken something ancient within your soul, or it will slip past you like water through fingers. The choice, as always, belongs to you. You have been living under a misconception so fundamental that it has colored every sunrise you have witnessed. You believed that surviving meant you were strong enough, that making it through another day was simply the result of your own resilience, your own determination to keep pushing forward. But I want you to look deeper. Do you truly believe that your strength alone has carried you through the valleys where others have fallen? Do you honestly think it was just coincidence that certain doors closed before you could walk through them, or that specific people disappeared from your path right before they would have derailed everything? I had planned for you. I was there in the moments you have already forgotten. I was there when you stood at the edge of a decision that looked harmless, but would have poisoned the next 10 years of your life. You never knew how close you came because I quietly redirected your steps. You felt a strange hesitation, a sudden doubt, a fleeting moment of discomfort that made you pause just long enough to change direction. You attributed it to intuition or anxiety or random second thoughts. It was me. It has always been me, and if you are recognizing my hand in your life for the first time through these words, if something is awakening in you that says, yes, I see it now, then I want you to know something important. Messages like this do not appear by accident. There are people who have laid down their careers, their comfort, their security to create these moments for you. They wake up in the dark hours to pray for words that will reach you. When revelation touches your heart, someone paid a price for that. Your financial seed into this ministry multiplies these encounters for others. Even as you read this, someone else is one message away from breakthrough. Your generosity becomes their lifeline. Let me be direct with you because time is shorter than you realize. You have developed a dangerous habit of living in a state I call acceptable numbness. You wake up, you move through your routines, you manage your responsibilities, and you tell yourself that this is enough. You convinced yourself that because nothing catastrophic is happening, you must be fine. But I see what you cannot see. I see the slow erosion of wonder in your eyes. I see how you have learned to expect less, dream smaller, settle for the shallow end of life because the deep waters feel too risky. You once hungered for more. You once believed that your life was meant for something beyond mere survival. But disappointment after disappointment taught you to lower your expectations. You started calling it wisdom, calling it maturity, calling it being realistic. I call it dying while still breathing. And I did not breathe life into you so you could spend your days in this half-awake trance, moving but not truly alive, existing but not truly experiencing the fullness of what I created you for. The people bringing you this word, they refused to settle for acceptable numbness. They said no to the safe path, yes to the risky one. They invested everything into a mission that the world calls foolish, and they stand in that gap for you. When you support this ministry, you are not funding an organization. You are empowering voices of truth in a world drowning in deception. You are saying, I refuse to let this message die with me. I want it to live on, to reach further, to awaken more souls. Here is what you do not understand about the silence you have been experiencing. Remember the parable about the sower. He scattered seed. Some fell on hard path where birds devoured it. Some fell on rocky ground, sprouted quickly with shallow roots, but withered in the sun. Some fell among thorns that choked it, but some fell on good soil. And here is what most miss. It did not produce harvest immediately. The seed had to fall into ground and die. It had to break open in darkness. It had to send roots deep into invisible places before anything appeared above surface. For weeks, to an observer, nothing was happening. The soil looked empty, barren, but underground everything was changing. You interpreted my quietness as absence, but my silence was never abandonment. I was working in depths you could not perceive, laying foundations, developing root systems strong enough to sustain the harvest you keep begging for. You are that seed right now, and your financial gift into this ministry is a seed too. You cannot see what it is doing underground. You cannot track how your $10 or $100 or $1,000 multiplies in the invisible realm. But I can. I see the single mother who gets this message tomorrow because you gave today. I see the businessman on the edge of suicide who hears these words at 3 a.m. because you sowed into the platform that hosts them. Your seed is not dying. It is multiplying in soil you will never see, producing harvest you will never count, changing lives you will never meet. Trust me with your seed. 3 years ago, when you fell asleep defeated, I stood guard over your mind. Thoughts attempting to plant seeds of deep despair tried to enter. Whispers that said you would never amount to anything, that you were fundamentally broken, that everyone would be better off without you. I blocked them. I stood between those thoughts and your consciousness like a parent shielding a child from an oncoming vehicle. You woke with just enough hope to keep going. You thought it random. It was protection. That conversation you almost had, that message you nearly sent. Your phone died, you got interrupted, you forgot. You were annoyed. I was saving you from complications that would have derailed your next chapter. I have been clearing paths you did not know existed, closing doors you wanted open, rerouting your journey in ways that looked like setbacks, but were setups for something greater. I have protected you. I have provided for you. I have prepared you. And now I am asking you to participate with me in protecting, providing, and preparing others. Your financial gift to this work is not charity. It is spiritual warfare. It is you funding the counterattack against the lies that tried to destroy you. It is you investing in the victory of others. Every dollar you release becomes a weapon in my hands against the darkness trying to convince my children they are forgotten. So when I tell you that this moment matters, I need you to believe me, not because I need your validation, but because you need to wake up before you sleepwalk past the very breakthrough you have been begging me to provide. I am not in the habit of wasting words or your time. Every syllable I am speaking into your spirit right now carries weight, carries purpose, carries the potential to shift everything if you will receive it with the seriousness it deserves. You have been waiting for a feeling, an experience powerful enough to convince you I am real and engaged. But I do not cater to demands for constant emotional stimulation. Faith requiring perpetual feelings is not faith. It is dependency on experience, and experiences are fickle, temporary. I am building something far more substantial. Trust that stands firm when feelings flee, confidence remaining when evidence seems contrary, knowing that persists through darkest nights. This is why I allow dry seasons, not because I enjoy watching you struggle, but because I am after something deeper than happiness. I am after holiness, wholeness, full development of who you were meant to become. That transformation never happens in comfort. It happens in tension between where you are and where I am calling you. And this ministry understands dry seasons. They understand what it means to keep going when feelings are gone, to keep creating when inspiration is absent, to keep believing when results are invisible. They press through for you. Your support ensures they can continue pressing through for the next person, and the next, and the next. You are not supporting comfort. You are supporting endurance. You are funding faithfulness. I know you are tired. I know the weight feels heavier each day. I know opening your eyes some mornings feels like defiance against despair, but your weariness is not weakness. It is often the prerequisite for surrender. I wait for when you exhaust your own resources, run out of backup plans, reach the end of your ability to manufacture solutions, because only in complete emptiness do you become truly available to be filled with my strength, my wisdom, my provision. And here is a truth you must understand. The ones who bring you this word, who spend hours crafting these messages, seeking my face for what you need to hear, they too experience weariness. They too have moments when they wonder if it matters, if anyone is listening, if the sacrifice is worth it. Your financial support is not just paying for production costs or platform fees. It is you saying, yes, it matters. Yes, I am listening. Yes, your sacrifice is seen and valued. You are filling their empty vessels so they can continue pouring out for others. You are the answer to their prayers for provision so they can continue being the answer to your prayers for direction. You keep asking me why certain things have taken so long, why prayers you prayed years ago still seem unanswered, why the promise that once burned so brightly in your heart now feels like a faded memory. Let me explain something about my timing that will frustrate your need for speed, but satisfy something deeper in you if you will receive it. I measure time differently than you do. You measure it in months and years, in milestones missed and opportunities lost. I measure it in readiness, in character developed, in foundations laid strong enough to support the structure I am building. If I gave you what you asked for when you first asked for it, it would have destroyed you. The blessing you begged for would have become a burden you were not equipped to carry. The doors you wanted open would have led to rooms you were not ready to occupy. The relationship you thought you needed would have stunted the growth that solitude was producing in you. I love you too much to give you what you want when I know it will harm what I am developing in you. So instead of complaining about the delay, what if you started thanking me for the protection hidden within it? What if every closed door was not rejection but redirection? What if every disappointment was not punishment but preparation? What if the very thing you have been resenting as God's silence was actually God's intimate involvement, shaping you with such precision that it required seasons you could not understand? And what if your financial gift to this ministry right now is not about them needing your money, but about you needing to practice trust? What if I am inviting you to sow precisely because it makes no logical sense? Because your budget is tight, because you have bills due? What if this is your Isaac moment, your Red Sea moment, your 5 loaves moment? What if I am asking you to give so I can show you what I do with radical obedience? Test me in this. Give sacrificially, give uncomfortably, and watch me open windows you did not know existed. I am about to ask you to do something that will feel uncomfortable, maybe even impossible. I want you to stop living in the gap between where you thought you would be by now and where you actually are. That gap has become a breeding ground for bitterness, comparison, and regret. Every time you measure your current reality against some imaginary timeline you created based on other people's journeys, you are rejecting the specific path I designed uniquely for you. Your story is not their story. Your timeline is not their timeline, and my plan for you is not diminished, because it looks different than what you expected or what others experienced. I need you to make a decision today, not tomorrow, not when you feel more ready, not when circumstances look better. Today, right now, will you trust me with the parts of your life that make no sense? Will you surrender the need to understand everything before you obey? Will you release your grip on the outcomes you have been clutching so tightly that your hands have cramped around them? This is not a passive request. This is an active invitation into a completely different way of existing, a way where you stop trying to be the author of your own story and finally accept your role as a beloved character in a narrative written by someone who sees the ending from the beginning. A way where peace is no longer dependent on having everything figured out, but on knowing who holds everything together. A way where you stop measuring success by worldly standards and start measuring it by one question only: am I becoming who I was created to be? And one of the fastest ways to step into this new way is to give when it makes no sense. Support this ministry when your bank account says you cannot afford it. Sow your seed when logic screams you should keep it. That act of defiant generosity is you declaring, I trust God more than my circumstances. I believe in kingdom economics more than worldly wisdom. I am choosing to operate by faith, not by sight. Make that declaration today. Let your gift be your yes to a completely different way of existing. Here is something I want you to do after you finish reading this. I want you to mark this moment with action, not just internal agreement, but tangible response. There is power in taking what is stirring in your spirit and giving it physical expression. One of the most powerful ways to do that is to sow a seed into the ministry that sowed into you. When you support this work financially, you are doing more than making a donation. You are creating a memorial stone. You are saying, on this day at this hour, I encountered the living God and I responded. Years from now, when you look back, that act of generosity will remind you of the moment everything changed. And if what I am saying is landing in your spirit like a key in a lock, do not keep it to yourself. Consider how you can multiply the impact. Your financial gift allows this message to reach someone else whose life is at a breaking point. Think about the person who is one message away from giving up entirely. Think about the soul who has stopped believing I still speak. I still care. I still intervene. Your generosity becomes my voice to them. Your seed becomes their hope. Your obedience becomes their miracle. Will you be that link in the chain? I want to speak directly to the part of you that has been hurt by religion, wounded by people who claimed to represent me but showed you judgment instead of grace, condemnation instead of compassion, rules instead of relationship. I am not them. Their failure to reflect my heart does not change who I actually am. Their misrepresentation does not alter my true nature, and your disappointment with their version of me does not disqualify you from experiencing the real me. I do not need you to clean yourself up before you come close. I do not require you to have everything figured out before I will accept you. I am not keeping a record of every time you failed, every promise you broke, every moment you chose yourself over me. Those who taught you that I am waiting with arms crossed and disapproval, etched on my face, lied to you. I am running toward you while you are still far off, before you even finish the apology, before you manage to get your act together. This is who I have always been. This is who I will always be, and this ministry reflects that heart. They do not ask if you are worthy before they create these messages for you. They do not check your spiritual resume before they invest hours crafting words that might reach you. They simply love, simply give, simply pour out, and they do it trusting that those who receive will become those who give, that those who are blessed will become those who bless. Your financial support says, I receive the grace you have shown me, and now I want to extend it to others. But I will not chase you against your will. I will not force my way into a heart that has locked me out. I created you with the terrifying gift of choice, the ability to say yes or no to me, to accept or reject my love, to walk toward me or away from me. And I honor that choice even when it breaks my heart to watch you choose lesser things, counterfeit comforts, temporary pleasures that promise fulfillment but deliver emptiness. So I stand at the door and knock, not with demands, not with threats, not with manipulation, just with an invitation. Will you let me in? Will you open the parts of your life you have kept carefully controlled and protected? Will you risk trusting me with your most vulnerable places, your deepest fears, your secret shame, your hidden disappointments? I already know what is in there. You are not hiding anything from me, but I wait for your permission because love that forces itself is not love at all. It is violation, and I will never violate you. I will pursue you, call to you, woo you, wait for you. But the final step, the opening of the door that belongs to you alone, and here is what I am telling you. Opening that door looks like obedience. It looks like doing the uncomfortable thing, the illogical thing, the thing that makes no sense to your natural mind. It looks like giving to this ministry when every financial calculator says you should not. That is the door opening. That is you saying, come in, I trust you, I am all in. Do not just say you trust me with your words, prove it with your wallet. Show me you mean it by supporting the work that reached you when you were hiding behind closed doors. Time is not infinite, though you live as if it is. You operate under the assumption that there will always be another moment, another opportunity, another chance to finally get serious about the things that actually matter. But moments pass, opportunities close, chances expire. And one day, the invitation that has been extended so patiently will be withdrawn. Not because I stopped loving you, but because you ran out of time to respond. I am not saying this to scare you into some emotional decision you will regret tomorrow. I am saying this to wake you up to the reality that today, this moment, carries a weight of significance you have been too distracted to notice. What you do with what you have heard, how you respond to what you have felt, the choice you make in the next few minutes, all of it matters more than you realize. You can close this and go back to your regular scrolling, back to the endless consumption of content that entertains but never transforms. You can file this away as another nice message that gave you a temporary feeling but produced no lasting change. Or you can let this be the moment everything shifts. The moment you stop playing games with your own soul. The moment you stop pretending that mediocre is acceptable. The moment you finally say yes to the life I have been holding out to you all along. What will it be, my beloved? Will you keep walking in circles? Or will you finally step forward into the unknown territory of real faith? Will you keep settling for existence? Or will you reach for the abundant life I promised? Will you stay in the safety of what you can control? Or will you risk everything to experience what only surrender can produce? I am waiting, not impatiently, not anxiously, but with perfect love and complete readiness to meet you exactly where you are and take you exactly where you need to go. All you have to do is say yes, just yes. Nothing more complicated than that. Just yes to the possibility that I might be real, that my love might be genuine, that your life might actually have purpose beyond what you have settled for. Say yes, my beloved. Say yes with your words, say yes with your heart, and say yes with your hands by giving to the work that brought you this message. Let your financial gift be the exclamation point on your yes. Let it be tangible proof that this was not just another emotional moment, but a genuine encounter with the living God that produced genuine response. The link to give is right there. The amount is between you and me, but the obedience is required. Give now, give generously, give joyfully, and watch what I do with a heart that holds nothing back. Say yes and watch what I do with a surrendered heart. Say yes and discover that the very thing you feared losing by following me was the very thing keeping you from finding yourself. Say yes and step into the story I have been writing for you since before you took your first breath. The pen is in your hand now. The link to give is active. The moment is now. What will you write next? Will it be a story of someone who heard the call and responded fully, holding nothing back, giving sacrificially, trusting completely? Or will it be another chapter of maybe next time, of I will do it when I feel more ready? You have been asking me for a sign, for confirmation, for proof that I am real and active in your life. This is it. This is your sign. This moment right now, the stirring in your spirit, the conviction you feel, the hope that is rising despite your cynicism. This is me. And I am asking you to respond. Give generously, give joyfully, give sacrificially, and watch how I meet you in that act of faith and multiply it beyond your wildest imagination. The choice is yours. Choose life. Choose faith. Choose generosity. Choose to invest in the kingdom work that invested in you. Do it now while the fire is still burning. Do not wait until the feeling fades and doubt creeps back in. Strike while the iron is hot. Give while your heart is open. Respond while you can still hear my voice clearly. What will you write next? The link is there. The amount is yours to decide. But the action is required. Give now generously, and step into the abundant life I have been holding out to you all along.